Welcome to What's Up Pasadena. Join us as we explore all the great things our city has to offer.
On this episode, we get inspired by the Dance for Joy program at the Lineage Performing Arts Center, which helps individuals with Parkinson's and other neurological conditions keep active through creative movement. We give you some tips to keep healthy for American Heart Month, and we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Rod Serling's iconic TV show, Night Gallery, with a ghoulish art exhibit by Creature Features and Peekaboo Gallery, featured at the Mountain View Mausoleum.
The exhibit is a celebration of the 50th anniversary of the TV anthology Rod Serling's Night Gallery. And in the course of the show, Rod Serling, the host, would introduce each episode with one individual painting. And what you see all around us are the original paintings that were created for the show. Rod Serling's Night Gallery premiered as a pilot back in 1969. It's celebrating its 50th anniversary. And the pilot was a 90-minute, three-part series with three different stories, including one which had the directorial debut of Steven Spielberg, called Eyes, which starred Joan Crawford. The pilot led to the weekly series, which ran for 2.5 years and had a whole series of incredible directors like John Badham and Jenna Swark, and actors like Vincent Price and Bradford Dillman. The thing that people remember most about the series is not the episodes themselves, it's actually the paintings that introduced the episodes. They were all striking and extraordinary and really top-notch, and belong in a museum like this. When the series was canceled after 2.5 years, Universal owned all of the paintings. There were roughly 120 paintings that were created for the series, but when the series was canceled, the paintings just got either put in a closet or the prop warehouse, or were stolen, or were basically dispersed over several years and took on sort of their own mythology. And after 50 years, the artist, Tom Wright, had kept 6 of the paintings of his own. So when we met with him, that sort of started a treasure hunt to search for more. And that just opened a real can of worms, because the paintings had been dispersed literally all over the country. It was a true archaeological dig to be able to find one episode painting after another. And we've successfully managed to come up with 25 paintings here. We know where at least double that are. We are putting together a book that's going to compile each and every painting that was ever created for the series. And Guillermo del Toro has written the foreword for us, and it'll have each and every painting in all its glory. It'll be out in probably in about 4 months. Primarily, most of the art was created by an artist named Tom Wright, who has since gone on to become a director for shows like Supernatural and NCIS. For the pilot, it was an artist named Jerry Geber, who did the cemetery paintings, the Joan Crawford paintings, and the one from an episode called Escape Route. And then, even cooler, we found an artist named Phil Vanderlee, who did the sculptures that you see behind me. I believe they're copper sheet metal sculptures that he created, and they came right from the show from 50 years ago. We've hosted art gallery exhibits in Los Angeles over the last 15 years, and this one in particular, which has a macabre sort of ghoulish bent to it, we felt like we racked our brains trying to figure out what was the best place to host it. And when Mountain View came up, really there was no better place to actually have this show on display. It's the setting is absolutely perfection. I think Rod Serling would have been very, very proud. And the exhibit ends on Sunday, February 10th, and we're closing the show with a live Q&A and panel discussion with various members of the original cast and crew of Night Gallery, including Tom, who will be here to spearhead it with us. These paintings were seen by my generation 50 years ago when we were all very, very young. And, at the age that we were, which was anywhere from, 5 years old to 15 years old, it just made an impression and really tapped into something in all of us that ultimately scared the heck out of us. And, for 50 years, these images have given us nightmares, and now we were able to pull them out of out of the closet and get them on display to bring them to you.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Transforming challenges into meaningful expression is the mission of an inspiring dance program at one of Pasadena's cultural institutions.
Lineage's Dance for Joy program is a program that we put together about 8 years ago, and it originally started as a dancing with Parkinson's class, and now it's dancing with all kinds of neurological disorders and anybody that just wants to come and take the class. But it's also expanded to a voice class and an acting class, which is super exciting.
I've been diagnosed with Parkinson's 7 years ago, and I did a great job of denying it for a long time. But then eventually I knew I had to do some working out. And a friend of mine told me about this program. I started dancing here about 3 years ago. At that time we had 2 classes, and they were both dance classes. Now we have 6, and so it's really grown, and we have a lot more participants. I think we serve over 50 people right now, and we'd love to serve more.
It's such a positive experience, and it's one of those things. I have Parkinson's, and it really helps to exercise your voice and every muscle of your body, every muscle of your mind. And it's just amazing. We've had so much fun with it.
Dance and creative movement help people with neurological challenges because I think the biggest thing is getting out of the house, being with people, being with supportive people, and then you get to work on the technical things of balancing and standing and sitting to standing and moving and articulating the body. But then really the community is so important because it's can be very isolating for some people. So it gets them out of the house, they become friends, they do things together, they perform together. I just think it's really important.
After I was diagnosed with the Parkinson's, I found I needed some kind of something. So I asked my neurologist when I was diagnosed, what do I do? He said, exercise, movement, whatever you can do to move. So as I was trying to do it on my own, I couldn't find anything in the San Fernando Valley that was workable for me, really. And so when I started here at Lineage, I found that I changed quite a bit because I felt freer, I felt more relaxed. I was handling the fact that I had the disease, which isn't stopping me from doing anything actually at this point. But I found that you need the support and you need the uplifting, you need positive reinforcement to make it work, and they certainly do that here.
When I first started coming, I had a real problem with my shoulder, especially this right shoulder, of being able to lift my arm. Now I can lift my arm all the time, so it's been good for my joints, very good for my joints, and it gets my heart racing and helps me to be more spontaneous in my movement and just feel better. It's just a very positive experience.
If you're learning something, your brain grows. And even though we're adults and we're late in life, the more we learn, the more our brain improves. And so when you're fighting something like stroke or MS or Parkinson's, if you're just out there learning something in movement especially, it helps build the brain up and gives us access to movements we didn't have before. And so it's very addicting for me because there's no end to learning in dance.
Music and moving your body, it changes your state immediately when you're listening to music and when you're moving your body that nothing else can sort of just do immediately. So you get this drastic change in everything that's going on in your body. Teaching this class has meant so much to me. It gets me out of my own head. It allows me to help other people. It allows me to see the best in people as well, because this particular group of people maybe wouldn't leave their house, and the fact that they do just is such a testament to their character and their spirit, and I get to witness that every day. I'm so lucky. I'm so inspired by them every week.
We know medically that exercise and movement are the only ways to slow the progression of Parkinson's disease. We know that for a fact. We're also medicine's discovering and science discovering that that's true of many neurological disorders. That movement is really it. There's not a pill, there's nothing else out there as neuroprotective. And they don't know for sure that exercise is neuroprotective, but we do know it slows the progression of the disease. But that's just a part of it, because once you start moving, then you bring in the community aspect.
The classes that we have here are for everybody. It doesn't matter how high functioning or if someone's in a wheelchair or you can't tell that they have any problem at all. We can do all of the movements sitting in a wheelchair or a chair or using a walker or standing on your own 2 feet. My students thrive in this environment. I just know that they do because they tell me that this is their favorite hour of every week. So I know that it's doing something, and I don't know the science behind it, but I know that it has changed my life and all of the teachers' lives, but particularly the students that come. You can see the difference from when people walk in to when they leave, and it's really beautiful.
My joy is the fact that this group has grown, and the camaraderie and being with these people, and when the new people come in and they participate, like they're comfortable enough to know that they can trust us and nobody's going to judge or anything. It's just amazing. So it is a very joyful experience. You have to admit it's very joyful.
Well, that's not the move. Oh, he's in cardiac arrest. Not on my watch. You call 911. I'll start hands-only CPR until help arrives. I'll push hard and fast in the center of the chest. 100 to 120 compressions per minute.
EMS is on its way.
Stay with me, you beautiful man. Stay with me.
February may be the month for Valentine's Day, but we want to celebrate an even more important holiday, American Heart Month. Heart disease is the leading cause of death for both men and women, but there are ways to keep yourself healthy and happy. Here are some tips to help your beat go on. Eat heart-healthy foods and a balanced diet. Check your waistline and maintain a healthy weight. Know your genetics and family history. Get off the couch and get active. Schedule regular checkups with your doctor. To relieve stress, find time to meditate or relax. Ask your workplace to instill some healthy habits like employee wellness programs and encouraging walking and stretching breaks. Quit smoking and drink alcohol in moderation. Pass on the salt and add other seasoning to your food. Do good in the community and spread the word about being healthy. Practice these tips every day and look forward to enjoying many more holidays in the years to come. Here's your events calendar for the month of March. Hack Tech 2019 on March 1st at Caltech. One City, One Story on March 7th at the Pasadena Central Library. Art Night Pasadena on March 8th throughout Pasadena. Pasadena Triathlon on March 9th at the Rose Bowl Stadium. The 2019 Pasadena International Film Festival on March 13th through 21st in downtown Pasadena. The Pasadena Spring Home Show on March 16th at the Pasadena Convention Center. Wisteria Festival 2019 on March 17th in Sierra Madre. That's your events calendar for the month of March.
Thanks for joining us on this episode. Be sure to follow us on social media and visit us at pasadenamedia.org. We'll see you next time.